Hi everyone, welcome to this week's edition of the CertiK Security Leaderboard Showcase. I'm your host, Aaron Leibowitz, and as you all know well by now, in this series, I host a guest for a live AMA where we discuss their work with CertiK, the Security Leaderboard, and we throw in some live questions from you, the viewers. Our goal is to raise the standards of security in the DeFi ecosystem. The Security Leaderboard, found at CertiK.com, is a free tool to help you DYOR. Today I'll be joined by the Polygon team discussing their work with us and what their roadmaps look like going forward. So let's actually go ahead and take a look at their leaderboard listing. This is what you see when you land at CertiK.org. Navigating over to the Polygon tab, you will see that they have done 2 audits with us on different contracts. Continuing down, we will see that they have enabled the Skynet solution where you can look at all sorts of on-chain monitoring. Here we'll click through the different sentiment tabs. Here we have social sentiment, then we have monitoring, governance, market data, safety, and Oracle data. Continuing down, you'll see some new updates to Skynet, though. We can see some insights, including performance summary of the token, charting of the token holder distribution analysis to look for whales, and much more. So let's bring on today's guest. Hi, Ashwari, how are you?
I'm good. How about you?
Doing well, thank you. Thrilled to have you here joining us.
Thank you.
Why don't you go ahead and start by giving us an overview of Polygon, yourself, and your role on the Polygon team?
Absolutely. So as we know, Polygon has been the layer 2 for Ethereum. It has been there since the start. And our main goal has been to ensure that we are able to scale up all the things that are happening on the Ethereum network and make it more faster and cheaper for anyone and everyone who wants to use the network. And that is our goal, and that will always be our goal. And that is something that we have been focusing on. And coming towards like what my role is, so basically what I do is I work with the DeFi team, and with the DeFi team, our basic agenda is to go out and reach out to all the projects that are building on Polygon, see how they can be helped more, how they can be branded, how they can be we can create their go marketing strategies, how we can help them collaborate among various projects so that they thrive, they grow, and anything that they have, any problem that we have one of the best ways in which to go out and listen to anything and everything that they have in their mind to help them there and to enable them to have growing in the environment and the network without any problems with the network.
Fantastic. Thank you for that. So just to dive in a little bit to what you said there, you're talking about building an ecosystem on Polygon of different protocols building on top of it, using your scalability to more or less stay within Ethereum, but have the scalability and throughput that is hard to find today. Would you say that that is core to Polygon's success, is building out that network of apps built on top of it?
I mean, absolutely. Without the dApps, without the applications building on us, what are we? We are nothing. And definitely, when we are going out and we were trying to bring in all the major players that are there in the market, the blue chips, the smaller projects, we don't discriminate between a new project coming in and maybe someone who is already building on Polygon. There are a lot of projects we talk to daily who come and who say that we want to build on Polygon, and we ensure that they get all the support that is there from the Polygon side, no matter how small or how big. If that is something that is doable by us, we will go out and we will do it, because we need an ecosystem. And one of the things that we are focusing on is, when we're developing the ecosystem, is not just have anything and everything, but also we are looking at a lot of quality products that are coming in. So we have a lot of things that are building on Polygon, which are like giving us or taking us to the next level. Some examples that we can give is, like, for example, one of the biggest problems that we have heard of in all the chains is basically MEV maximization, where the miners try to extract that extra amount and fool the retail customers and everything. So we have partnered with Automata. We have gone ahead with them, and they have created a tool which is reducing that reducing the MEV extraction which is happening. And now what we're doing is we're trying to build it up with all the projects that are there, which are providing those services, so that they are able to go out and ensure a fair trade fair NFT drops and everything which is there, fair IDOs and everything which is there. So we are not just looking at one particular thing where only, okay, these are the projects that are there. We're also looking at how the ecosystem is evolving and how we can integrate that ecosystem in a way where more and more people, more and more projects can build on it in a way where we have an ecosystem which is fully curated and integrated, so that the tomorrow that is coming ahead of us, we have everything that we need in our ecosystem.
That makes tons of sense to me. Thank you for that. So Polygon started as an L2 for Ethereum specifically, but if I am correct, you guys have been moving towards some cross-chain interoperability. You have some bridges that are live today, is that correct?
Yeah, absolutely. So some of the cross-chain liquidity that is there, we are trying to do that. We are going ahead. So like most of the bridges and everything that are being built, we are trying to connect most of them, and we are ensuring that whatever projects that want to build on us, if they want to transfer their liquidity to us and everything that is there, we are more than happy to go out and help them out to move their liquidity. There are a lot of blockchains, there are a lot of projects that are there who are trying to do that, because maybe whatever solutions or whatever blockchains they have been on, that is something where they're not maybe happy, or they want some of the things that are developed on Polygon which are not there on some other blockchains, or maybe something where they want to go out and they want to venture into all the blockchains that are out there, so that that the flow of liquidity and interoperability is enabled. So yeah, definitely that is something which is very much important for us, because it's not just one thing which is there. So it is something where whatever products, whatever things that we can build out, and after building them we can get that to benefit our ecosystem, definitely we are in for that. And yes, still even after doing that, we still say we are still a layer 2 only, which is there, which is helping Ethereum. So if we are bringing that liquidity back to Polygon and everything, is basically for the Ethereum network itself.
Got it. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. So in your opinion, do you see a future where we have, one L1 that really wins out, maybe a bunch of L2 solutions built on top of it? Or do you believe in a wide multi-chain future where we have a bunch of different L1s working together?
See, I don't believe that there will be one winner. It's not a market. It's not an industry where we are competing to kill each other. It's a market where we are trying to compete with each other so that we build even better products. And that is something that we come in from. We don't want to go out and say that, okay, we are the killers, or we have never used this word saying that, okay, we want to kill this, we want to kill that. No, it's an environment where not one single chain, but multi-chain environment will work, will thrive, and will be there. And so we fully understand that, and what we want to do is whatever is there, we just want to create an environment for us which is sustainable, which is growing, where people are getting the kind of support they need, they're getting the services that they want to build on and everything. So this is something that we want to focus on. Definitely there will be multiple chains which are going to do that, and definitely they're also going to have some value, because we cannot say that we are the best or something like that. That's something I don't think in the whole environment, in the whole ecosystem, nobody goes out and says we are the best or something like that. But yeah, definitely whatever we are trying, we want to have an ecosystem which is inclusive of everything. But definitely there would be functions which would be outside our domain, and then definitely we want to go out and cross connect and build together.
Got it. That makes total sense to me. And I, for the record, do agree with you. I think that the multi-chain future is for sure the way that everything's going to go. I remember back when Ethereum launched, the idea of anything other than Bitcoin was wild. Today, the idea of just Ethereum sounds equally or more crazy to me.
Absolutely.
So recently, Polygon has added some new projects to your family ecosystem, the latest being Maiden. Can you tell me a little about the ecosystem itself, the projects involved, and especially Maiden?
So basically what is happening with the public blockchains is, and what is happening with a lot of enterprises is, they wanted to go out and they wanted to build on public blockchains, was because of the privacy issues that they had with them. They did not want to go out and do that openly, because they knew that this is something where it's not going to be possible for them to go out and openly put the record or put the data on the blockchain openly, so that maybe some way or another they can be tracked. So one of the things that is playing out and that is coming as the next thing in the future is basically going out and understanding those zero knowledge proofs, and trying to create those layers whereby all the data which is there, we can still try to put it on the public blockchain, and yet there the complete identity is not revealed. so that public blockchains can also go, so that companies which are public companies, if they want to build on public blockchains, they can do it. We started with Hermes. Hermes was integrated with Polygon. We are about to most probably launch that in the market, and we already partnered with EY. The reason was because EY's Nightingale was something where they wanted to try this out, so we went out, we partnered with them. Another thing, we in with Maiden, that is also something we are doing. We're trying to test out all those things which are there with the zero knowledge proof, so that the moment we go out and whatever works for whatever solutions, we have all of them within our ecosystem, and we don't have to find out or build them later on, because that is the ultimate theme that we have for the enterprises as well. Because the moment they go out and the moment enterprises want the solution, maybe one or the other, what we will have is we will be able to go out and curate that, because we are building all of this. So this Maiden is also one such addition in that you can say portfolio that we have of zero knowledge proof and everything, so that we have all of them.
Got it. And for our less technical viewers, zero knowledge proofs are a consensus mechanism that allows you to prove consensus without revealing the underlying data, so you can maintain privacy. It's quite an interesting concept and area of work. It's been around for a little while now.
Absolutely.
So in terms of scalability, do you see the L1s moving towards more scalability, higher TPS in the future, or do you see them relying on L2s rather than changing the code base? For example, Ethereum.
See, one thing that I can for sure say is when we talk about Visa and MasterCard are just for processing transactions. They're not doing gaming transfers and all those things that are happening on blockchains, metaverse transactions and everything. So for them to go out and scale at, let's say today they are processing like 1700, 1800 transactions per second, but they have the capacity to do 65,000 transactions per second. So similarly, what happens is, but when we're talking about blockchains, there are a lot of things that we want to do. There are a lot of things that are being built. There is analytics happening. There is gaming happening, NFT happening, the whole DeFi happening, and X number of things happening here. And the point is basically, in order to go out and sustain for any blockchain, I would say, layer twos are definitely necessary. No such blockchain can go out and say, so let's say if I talk about Ethereum, after sharding, it can go up to, let's say, 10,000 transactions per second, but they're not enough. So you definitely need a layer 2 to go out and build on top of you, so that you can go out and you can say that yes, we have got the capabilities and the power to go out and process all those transactions. So that's not just for Ethereum. I can say other blockchains also what are there. If I talk about Cardano is working on Hydra. If I talk about some other blockchains, all of them are basically going out and trying to do something with their layer 2s as well. Because I believe personally, what I believe is a trilemma is a difficult thing to solve. So if you want to go out and solve the trilemma, maybe Polkadot is something which is doing it in a different way, combining two blockchains and then trying to do it. And maybe some of the blockchains are a little bit trying to give away that decentralization in order to go out and scale. So in order to have that trilemma being solved, I think this layer 2 and layer 1 combination would be the best one when we go out and we actually see them in play.
Yeah, I think that's a very fair take that you have there. Hitting on something that you mentioned there is maintaining decentralization. There are a lot of people who feel that L2s as a whole can't maintain decentralization. Polygon has a pretty interesting approach to maintaining decentralization. It's been at the core of your sort of motto, your work since the beginning. Can you speak a little bit about how you guys maintain decentralization, what you would say to critics who say, for example, Polygon isn't decentralized?
I would say that whenever a new project comes into the market, there's a very simple thing. Whenever a new project comes in, so even if I take the example of, let's say, not Polygon, maybe some other example of, let's say, things building on Kusama. So what you will see is initially what they will do is they will have a full centralization. Reason being, if you just start the project with a full decentralization, it will be killed out. Nobody will care about it, and it will die within a very smaller span of time. So that is something that is exactly what happened with Polygon. We started with the centralization, but slowly and steadily, what we are doing is we are moving towards that decentralization, which is there. Even all the decisions that we are making now are moving towards a DAO structure, where slowly and steadily we are going out and we are allocating that to the DAO, so that they can go out and take the decisions. They can go out and decide. So for example, we've started with the grants. So the new grants, if you're trying to apply, we can go out. These grants can be applied directly through the DAO. So we started as that because that is a necessity. Even Bitcoin, even any blockchain that you talk about, they started as a centralized entity. And slowly and steadily, what you do is as you move ahead, as you become big, you understand that yes, now nobody as a single entity can kill this out. Then we go towards that, removing that whole pseudo key and trying to go out and say, okay, we are trying to become decentralized. So I'll say that we are on the path of becoming a truly fully decentralized network, and it will be a slow process because we want to ensure that nobody individually can come in or with a group of people can come in and harm the system, because a lot of transactions. So currently we have like around 3.5 or 4 million transactions happening per day. So we don't want to bring them down like just because we want to have a fully 100% decentralized structure. So slowly and steadily, as we see, we are evolving, as we see that yes, the roles and responsibilities can be delegated out, we become more decentralized. Yeah, we are moving towards that.
Got it. And I think what you said about projects starting centralized and moving towards decentralization, even if a project wants to start fully decentralized, you simply can't. There won't be any adapters to run their own full nodes or whatever you're going to need at the beginning. You have to start somewhere. And with the goal of moving towards decentralization, I think that's something that most of the community can definitely get behind. Absolutely. So you guys have recently partnered with Chainlink, I believe, for their price oracles. Can you tell us a little bit about how that helps Polygon and how it increases your security?
So when we talk about Chainlink has been the world leader, I would say, when we talk about all the price feeds and everything, all the oracles that are connecting to Chainlink, because we need a lot of data from the offline off-chain block, which is off-chain, to come on chain, so that we can run a lot of things on the blockchain network itself. So yeah, definitely, this is a very big partnership that we have. We basically are using it for price oracles, and not just us. A lot of projects that have been deployed on Polygon, we are trying to go out and we are trying to ensure that they use I would say, the biggest benchmark that is out there in the market, where the acceptability for Chainlink is very high at the moment, and they're absolutely doing very beautifully well. So that is something that we have in our mind, so that none of the projects have failures in oracles, and because of that, some customers have to face the heat. We want to focus that we want to ensure that no matter what, the customers that are there that are onboarding Polygon, they should never suffer because we chose maybe the second best or the third best. So that is something that we have in our mind.
For sure. And coming back to what we talked about before with a multi-chain world, do you believe in a sort of multi-oracle world? There are a handful of new oracle projects other than Chainlink that have popped up. And Chainlink is by far and away the leader, no question. But people like Supra, do you see a need for projects to onboard 2 oracle solutions?
I think here what I would say is basically definitely what we should do is we should never rely on one thing. That is one thing that we have learned from decentralization. We should always have more opportunities and everything, though Chainlink is a leader, and that is something that we cannot comment on, saying that no, they're not. But definitely going out and looking for more solutions and ensuring that maybe if one source is something which is giving the information and the source will not hurt, definitely we should be going out and we should be ensuring that. The only thing is that once a new oracle system comes into the picture, the biggest problem that they have is basically the amount that they have staked. So for example, if they're following the proof of stake mechanism, we have to ensure that we do not pass transactions which are way above in the amount threshold than the amount that they have staked, because once that starts to happen, the trust or whatever the trust that we have on oracles, that would not remain. There would be some malicious actors in the network, and that is why I believe personally Chainlink, because of this particular reason and because of the staking that they have and the penalties that they charge, what is happening is they have become such big, and newer projects are trying to do that, but they're trying to have that they're struggling a little bit, mostly because of this particular reason, because you need a big amount to ensure that they don't go out and they don't wreck the whole system up.
For sure. The cost to falsify data or push incorrect data feeds has to be way too high to be worthwhile. And if you have a
Absolutely.
low TVL, that's hard to have.
Correct.
Yeah. So moving on to security a little bit, you guys have done 2 audits with us and you've enabled the Skynet solution. Can you tell us a bit about why security is so important to you? For example, why you went beyond the audit and enabled Skynet?
Simply, we don't want to go out and say, hey, please trust us. Please ensure, please feel safe when you're trading in Polygon. Please go out, and because we are saying you should be trusting Polygon. You should be trusting Polygon because you are seeing the actual facts. You're seeing the dashboard out there and seeing that everything that is there on Polygon is secure, because security is something which is paramount. If you remember 2 weeks back, what we did was 2-3 backs, there was a bug that was found, and we paid literally it was discovered by a white hat hacker, and we literally paid $2 million. That was the biggest bounty that anyone in the whole blockchain industry has paid. So that is how important security is to us. It is not something which we can compromise, because the moment we become the moment we become that full decentralized and everything, if there are security lags and everything which is there in the system, it will not sustain. So definitely security is of paramount amount, and I would say in the trilemma, security is very important, and that is why it's a trilemma we are trying to solve. And that definitely, so security is because of this only. We don't want to preach security. We want to show everyone that yes, we are secure, and how we can do it is we can ensure that 2 audits we have already done with you. Then Skynet is already active there. So if anyone and everyone, if they want to do their own research, it's everything out there. They don't have to write a mail saying, okay, hey Polygon, can you tell me this? Can you tell me that? No, go out, check it for yourself, and then believe on us.
For sure. So continuing down this path a little bit, can you speak about why you chose CertiK?
So I think CertiK is one of the biggest source, or one of the biggest companies who's out there, who are one of the leaders who are trying to go out and create that whole DeFi space and everything with more security. They're ensuring that, and we definitely appreciate the work that you have been doing. And definitely, this is one thing why we have been choosing CertiK, because we feel that they're one of the industry leaders, and they are very open to whatever things they have. They go out and they highlight whatever things they feel that they should be changed and everything, and we are very much happy to go out and do that. So I think that is something which is there, where we have two-way communication, and we ensure that whatever is there, if you feel that there is something that we can change, we are definitely going out and changing it, and that is something that makes us go with you guys more.
Absolutely. Thank you for that. We appreciate those kind words. So moving on a little bit here, can you tell us about the future of Polygon? What do we expect to see both in the short term through the end of the year on the roadmap, as well as moving forward for the coming years?
Cool. So when we talk about short term, what we would say is basically we are integrating with a lot of systems. We recently integrated with Celsius to bring DeFi on Celsius, which is one of the biggest announcements that we had recently. We are also moving towards some of the collaborations with some of the other blue chips that are there in the market. We will see that soon enough. And if we talk about the long term, we believe that okay, whatever we are doing in the decentralized world, that matters, but also a lot of enterprise work and everything that is there, that also matters. So that is why we are trying to create a host of services which are there, which relate to ZK Snarks, zero knowledge proofs and everything, so that if anyone wants to go out and use that long-term play, we want to go out and we want to ensure anything and everything that anyone wants, we have that built in. The major reason why we also bought Hermes was also this, because we knew that this is something which is very much important. Zero knowledge proofs and everything, zero knowledge proofs are a very important part in the future, and that is where we are heading towards. We are ensuring whatever we are able to create a host of services out there. And along with that, what we are also trying to do is we are trying to go out and we are going to go hand in hand with Ethereum. The moment we go out, the moment Ethereum goes to ETH 2.0, the beacon chain is activated. We go out and we again support that, so that the multiplier effect which we are giving to Ethereum today, that multiplier effect is even more multiplied, so that a lot of transactions and everything that are happening, they keep on happening flawlessly, and maybe pull back some of the liquidity that is there somewhere else to our platform back. Maybe, surely, that is something that we have in our mind.
For sure, that makes sense to me. So let's go to one of the live questions now. Polygon has low transaction fees and is quite fast when it's working optimally. has great strengths and a strong ecosystem, but there are a lot of new L2s coming out today. What do you think really separates Polygon from the rest?
I think one of the best thing that we have is a POS channel that we have created. Apart from that, the way we have been supporting, I think other so a lot of other L2s, what they have is they're focused on maybe one or two problems. What we are focusing on is everything that is out there to create an ecosystem. So we are focusing on ecosystem more. Most of the other L2s, what they're trying to do is they are trying to focus on one or two problems which are there, that is there, and most of the L2s do not even have a token. So that is also something which is not yet active there. What we have is we already have that active, and because that is active, what we are also able to do is we are able to connect with a lot of projects and create synergies out of them. We are creating a lot of use cases for the token and everything which is there. So that is something that differentiates us from whatever we have or whatever other L2s that we have. That is something which is there.
Got it. Yeah, I mean, first mover advantage is something that really can't be understated in crypto and DeFi. I mean, if you look at Bitcoin versus Nano, BCH, all of these other store of value assets that might have higher TPS or smaller block size in terms of actual data storage to run a full node, we'll see if they fall by the wayside compared to the first mover advantage. So that is definitely a strong thing you guys have going for you. Plus, name brand recognition has never hurt, and everybody knows Polygon.
Absolutely.
So when looking into projects built on the Matic network, is DYOR the main principle for keeping myself safe, or what can I do to protect myself when investing?
So whenever we are building the projects on Polygon or whenever we are accepting the projects on Polygon, we just don't go out and accept, or we just zone out and say that, okay, go ahead and deploy and everything. So if you will see, we whatever projects that are building in, or whatever projects that are taking grants from us, or whatever support that they are taking from us, we are also ensuring that whatever they are building, we do go out and check whatever they're building and everything. So yes, we do that kind of a check to ensure that we're not promoting just any project out there. There are a lot of projects that are there with us, and there are a lot of new ones. If they're needing help, we provide those help to them. We help them grow, we help them build, but we also ensure that they're secure. So yes, DYOR is one of the main things that you have to do. But we are also, it's not that we are just leaving it completely on you. We are also doing that hard work for you, so that yeah, that if anything is there, we ourselves are able to go out, highlight, pinpoint, and remove that before it becomes risky actually.
Got it. That is definitely a sort of nice cushion barrier for investors. It does not mean that anyone can just ape into projects without research. You guys still have to research. Use the security leaderboard to do your research. It is a great tool for that. But it is really nice to know that Polygon is taking care to ensure the projects they're onboarding have a level of reputational standards and quality to them. So Ashwari, I think that wraps us up for today. Thank you so much for joining. It's been a great chat and really enlightening to learn more about the Polygon network.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Of course. You have a good one. Looking forward to continue chatting. Cheers.
Sure.